Ah, it stopped. Huffety puffety rings down round. I wonder why.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love.
Sorry, I still get carried away by that. Hello there, welcome to the Flashback Podcast. I watch you while you're sleeping. And with me, suddenly, oh my God, that's timing. That is such timing.
Big timing.
That is professionalism right there, ladies and gentlemen.
That's astounding. So we'll start this again. First of all, top right is Dominic.
Hello.
Okay, Dominic took a while there to remember how to greet people. He's obviously had a week.
Well, it's lockdown. It's done it to us all.
I'm quite right too. Now, claiming to be from Scotland, so he's been spending the whole week at the border going, get on you bastards. Is Eddie.
Thou shalt not pass.
Well,
Thou
quite.
shalt not pass.
And bizarrely and publicly claiming to be an American, he'll learn, it's Brian.
Hello.
Ooh, that was a very modest greeting, don't you think?
Very Canadian, if you ask.
Ooh,
Very
no, he didn't
Canadian.
apologise for interrupting to say
And he never
hello.
said a boot.
And he
Yeah,
didn't know.
that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
True.
Anyway, this
Remember,
is us.
they're the polite ones, we're the rude ones.
Yeah, you're basically sort of the meth house next door to them.
Yeah, we're the meth lab underneath their apartment.
Yeah, that's the one. Yes.
We make all the countries around us roll up their windows and lock their
I'm
doors.
sorry, I'm still with Clarkson on this. The South Canadian Sea just sounds like it's such a great idea. It really does.
How's that war with France?
Oh, let's do the usual how the weeks have been going. All right, because I do have some tales to tell tonight. I'm sorry. First of all, Dominic, dearest, how has your week been? Have you been up to anything interesting that you can't talk about?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
I cannot
good.
talk
Moving
about
on.
it whatsoever.
Moving on, Eddie. What was Scotland like this week? Was it Scottish?
Very yellow. Very yellow.
Yellow?
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's spring.
If I had to put a colour towards it, very well. Just with an election, and it's just everything's very yellow again.
Yeah. One seat short of a majority.
Yeah,
That
and that was a
was
failure,
hard to
apparently.
say.
That was a failure. A majority that the Scottish National Party didn't lose because they didn't have it in the first place, but everybody's talking about how they failed to
Well,
get
no,
a
they
majority.
actually gained a seat.
Yeah, they gained one seat.
Yep.
They were close to having a majority, and the last time they had that was 2008 or something.
Do you
They've
think
won.
this gives them the moral imperative, the mandate to proceed for a second independence referendum?
I do, but will it happen? No, not whilst we've got Bumble and Jack in charge of Westminster. So no, that's not going to make any
I
difference.
pass no judgments as far as I'm concerned. If Scotland wants a referendum and they vote to leave, go with our blessing. Let us be brothers.
Yeah, as long as we can take you and Dominic with us.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that, quite frankly. Right, so that was, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello there. Yes. Anything been happening in New York State?
In New York, we're getting ready to reopen.
What? Some package, a house?
No, from the COVID stuff. It's supposed
Ooh.
a lot of the restrictions are slated to stop on the 19th.
Yeah, ours are coming through. Apparently, we're being told we can now have intimate contact with people.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Rub it in my bloody face. Everybody else has intimate contact with people.
Ding dong.
And
Just
I'm
remember,
here
I'm
on
the
my
pervert on the
fucking
show. Come
own.
on. Dominic,
Yes.
stay in your lane. Just remember, I'm the pervert on the show. Okay.
So we're allowed to have intimate contact.
Well, other people are.
All right. I'm 25 years married, so
I mean-
intimate contacts are just I don't want to.
I can't.
I don't know that.
I can't
I mean, they're
remember the
both
last
physically
time.
asking That's the thing. They're both making it very easy. They're implying it themselves. They're saying you can go into households, you can have intimate contact. There's only one way it's going. They're saying reproduce, and that's what they're doing.
Oh, right. So Boris is
Oh,
horny.
oh.
Boris is
Yeah.
horny. Right. So it's fine now.
Boris
okay.
needs a little loving. That's
Yes,
what he's
yes.
saying.
Is
Boris
this
is
go
horny.
into any house and have intimate contact? Because that could prove legally problematic.
Yeah.
Problematic. Ooh.
Well, okay, to put another punctuation on it, they
Yes.
came out with a study this week that the birth rate was actually down for the U.S.
Well,
for
you're
the
surprised
first time.
being locked in with each other after all this time? Oh, yeah, you hump like bunnies right at the start, but afterwards, no.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for the divorce rate numbers to
Oh,
come in
that'll come through.
because after lockdown, it's time to go.
It's true. It's very, very true. Now then, which story do you want first?
Oh, ladies' prerogative. You've got
That's
a lot of
kind.
material there. Fire away.
You have
Well,
reams
as
of
Brian
material.
has already mentioned this, my country nearly went to war this week.
Oh my god.
Well, if you believe the Daily Mail and the Daily Express, that is.
Tell them over
the quality
what.
press.
Okay, so basically, ever since Brexit, obviously new rules have had to be drawn up for fishing quotas and boundaries and everything else like that. And Jersey agreed a thing with France, and then just at the last moment, they added extra conditions, which meant the French boats weren't allowed. It was going to take them quite a while to get it sorted out, and the French boats weren't allowed into the Jersey waters. Now, France is noted for being rather good at protesting. I point to lorries and cows being burnt and God knows what else. So they blockaded Jersey's St Helier harbour. Boris Johnson, seeking to calm everything, sent 2 Navy warships down there. The French wisely sent a couple of their own boats down there, but I think they were just police boats, and they weren't down there for any enforcement action. They were there because there were so many bloody boats in the water. People are going to get hurt if they weren't careful. Obviously, Jersey is up in arms. Oh, blah, 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 because Jersey, unfortunately, has a terribly high opinion of itself, when in fact it's free. It's a bit like Britain. Britain's nowhere near as important as it used to be, but it still has a huge, a huge opinion of itself. Jersey's never been important, but it's terrier syndrome, Jack Russell syndrome, tiny dog, but my God, it's going to make up for it. You know what I mean? What didn't help was somebody from the sealed knot basically walking out to the end of, I think it was Elizabeth Castle's breakwater, and start firing a musket off at them. This is my home, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the parasitic lump of rock that takes away money from our NHS.
When did you leave this wonderful, glorious land of?
1989, then it all went to shit.
Yeah. So it's your fault.
Yeah. I came to Britain. I came to England.
You have to go with what Boris did. I mean, there is nothing more calming than something called a warship.
Yes. Yes.
sailing into your-
Yes, God damn it.
That's
So there's that. Oh, there's been more. My fence is in a terrible state. And this evening, I'm sat there.
So your fence is in terrible state. Is this the guy that you take the stolen goods to and he gives you money?
No, that's the mechanic. Come on.
I see how they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So Eddie's now got his worried face on. Is Siobhan being serious?
It's okay. We all know that Siobhan is a world-renowned jewel thief. We all know this. We understand this.
The Colonel? That was me. Oh, fuck, I've just admitted it. Anyway,
Don't worry, it's the internet. Nobody watches this.
so anyway, I got a hold of this surveyor, and apparently they're now coming round this Tuesday to do something. We shall wait and see. However, in the meantime, a few hours back, I'm sat on my couch, blissfully scrolling through my phone, and I hear two old fishwives stood right outside my garden moaning about how disgusting the fence is and how dangerous it is and everything else like that. And I'm thinking to myself, it's not my fault. I have been trying like a trooper to get this thing fixed. So I got a bit annoyed about that. Then there's Quatermass. You all know my hassles with the Xbox and the Quatermass discs and everything else like that. I've gone onto this in previous things. This week, I set up my new Blu-ray player. It's fine, absolutely wonderful. Everything's great. It's working brilliantly. Looking forward to doing the whole, we were going to do 2 episodes of the final 1979 Quatermass story. I had it on Blu-ray. Brian had it on Blu-ray. It was the wrong region for Brian.
Yep.
Brian hasn't seen it. And I'm a bit gutted about that because it's so good. Oh, hello. Eddie's using the hammer on his keyboard again.
Am I back? No, you lost me because my broadband acted up, so I disappeared for a while. I've shut things down, so hopefully it stays a bit stable.
Did anybody notice? Hello, Sean.
No, you stayed the same.
Yeah, nobody noticed any difference.
We didn't notice anything.
You were perfectly fine.
So it's just like this?
Yeah.
Nobody noticed.
Yeah,
That's fine.
No, it's absolutely fine. So the Quatermass thing's a bit of a bugger. However, Eddie got carried away. Because the idea was, I asked last week, is 4 1-hour episodes going to be too much? Because these guys work and everything else like that. And so we agreed to do 2 episodes a week. How many have you watched, Eddie? Oh, he's gone again.
He's frozen.
He's frozen.
No, hang on. Do you know we haven't
Using
had
the
this?
hammer.
We haven't had this from Eddie in ages.
Right?
See above.
This just brings back all sorts of good memories.
Yeah. If only we had some sort of video evidence of it.
Ooh.
Hang on.
We haven't had that in a while either.
No. Ooh, seriousness. It's getting serious. The mystery dots are back. It's like something from a kid's show, It's a case of what's behind the mystery dots.
Name that presenter.
Who will it be today?
Do you know, it really scares me that I knew what that piece of music was you were humming. It's Jeopardy, isn't it?
Should.
Yes, Jeopardy.
Well,
Yeah.
What is Jeopardy?
Exactly. Dominic, you did not form it in the form of a question.
The trouble is, the
I
only
know
Jeopardy
Jeopardy. I know the free grades. Don't mock me.
I'm scared.
Oh, is back.
He's back. He's gone. He's back.
The trouble is, the only Jeopardy I know is Celebrity Jeopardy on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And your mother, Trebek.
I don't remember the answer, but your mother's a whore.
Right,
Who
okay.
hosts it now after Alec?
I
Is
think
it
there's
still
guest
Ken-
hosts
You're
and
doing a bunch of guest hosts, yes.
It was Ken
including
Jennings, wasn't it? One of them.
Caitlin Jennings. I hope not. I can't stand her.
No, Ken Jennings.
Oh, Ken Jennings.
Ken Jennings is
Okay.
going to be one of them.
LeVar
They're
Burton.
trying to get LeVar Burton.
Oh, nice.
There's a they
Yeah.
petitioned to get LeVar Burton as
Regular
the
host.
guest host, and now they want to make him the main host.
Amazing. That'd be cool.
I
He's
think
a
that
great
would
guy.
be fantastic.
Mm.
Okay, boys and girls, you got 15 seconds to shoot the blue dots. Start now. Just so you know, the Flashing Blade takes no responsibility for any damage to any computer equipment you may cause. Just saying.
If you position your mouse exactly over the blue dots and click,
Are these dots blue or are they red? Internet, it's over to you. No. Now, you see, I should go ahead with the whole Quatermass thing, but as Eddie's the only other person who's seen it, I just get the feeling we are cursed for this Quatermass thing.
Yes.
We've had so much
Everything
trouble.
Quatermass so far has been
even
trying.
down to last week, with me not actually sending the Zoom link to Toby until it was almost too late.
No.
Yeah. Quatermass has been quite the cursed format.
Things have just kept going wrong. So there we go. There's that. Oh yes. Now then. Now Dominic's the youth here, and I think I may have asked him about this, and I'm not sure. You ever heard of something called Dunkachino?
Dunkachino.
Dunkachino.
Is that like Dunkin' Donuts' version of a cappuccino?
Yes, it is.
No.
But there is another thing for it.
Yeah. It's the Twitter account is @Daily Dunkachino.
Right, I'm looking this up on Twitter while we wait for Eddie to.
I did. Well, actually, I voiced it after last week's show, if you remember, boys. Very short little piece I got asked to do.
Daily Dunkachino.
Yeah.
You know, #1 destination for all things Dunkachino. Oh my God. Okay, let's see what we've got here.
It's a meme, apparently. A Generation Z.
Oh, here we are. I see. This is your one. Oh, nice. Reconstructed Doctor Who episode from the 1960s.
He's done it.
This is a live reaction.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Live reaction. Here we go, then. Make it good, Dominic. Now is your moment to shine.
The horror of the Dunkachino. Chino.
Gives us a break, Brian. I mean, I'm going to be honest
Absolutely
with you.
no product placement whatsoever.
By the way, Dunkin'...
From an idea by Terra Nation. Did he invent Dunkin' Donuts?
No, this is set during Dalek's master plan.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
No, don't ask me.
Oh.
All I did was the voice. That was it.
You did the voice masterfully. See what I did there?
I actually wasn't too...
Oh my God.
I was a little bit iffy on a couple of points on that. I have to admit, I did listen back to it and think, I'm not so certain.
Well, that's just a perfectionist in it.
Yeah. See, I hear Bill in my head, but when I listen to me...
Well, I'm listening to you right now, and you do sound on form.
Okay. That's the problem. All I ever hear is me when I'm listening.
See,
Wow.
perfectionist.
Yeah.
I run the scene in my head as Bill would do it and listen to his voice in my head, if that makes sense. And then yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
For a world-class psychiatrist.
How many Bills do you have in your head?
It's very nice. I like it.
Don't go on to part 2. There's hardly anything for us in there, and it's just this weird... Look, basically, it's Dunkin' Donuts and Al Pacino turns up for a song and dance number. Except that's the meme, I think. And so, @Q_review got in touch and asked me would I do a Hartnell thing for this, and yeah, all right, okay.
Quentin reviews.
Yes. And I said, well, yeah, all right, okay. Sent me the script, looked at it and went, what the fuck? Okay, right, just don't question, not sure how to play this, try and play it straight. Right, okay, good. And sent it off to him. And he sort of said, oh, that's good. I've got Peter's as well. Peter? Peter Purvis. Okay. A, I'm working with Peter again. That's cool. B, oh my God, what the hell does he make of this? It's...
Oh my word.
Anyway, got sent off, and I've got to admit, Quentin did a superb job on putting it together. Because it's not just the audio, but the telesnaps as well. It's like a loose cannon reconstruction, quite frankly. However, the thing that has really surprised me is since it got released May the 4th. There we go. It's had 47.2 thousand viewers, 2.8 thousand likes, 908 retweets.
That is impressive.
One of the most successful things I've ever done, and I have no idea at all what it's about. Oh, hang on. Sean? In chat?
Yes.
Can you explain this thing? What is this meme? Because, trust me, I've been putting my hair out for the past couple of weeks, trying to work out what's going on. And actually, Brian, if you listen very carefully, you might have to look towards the window, or turn your ear towards the window. You should hear a high-pitched babble of extremely offensive Scottish being screamed. I can hear it from here.
I do. There is a weather bulletin that there is a cloud of obscenities forming over Glasgow.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Thank you, Sean. That helps. It's a weird joke in a Sandler film from ages back.
Oh, is it from... Oh, which...
Brian, are you telling me you know and you left me suffering?
No, he brings it up, and I want to say, the Happy Gilmore, was it? I could be totally, absolutely wrong, but I think, was it Happy Gilmore, Sean?
Don't ask me.
I'm asking Sean.
And now we wait for Sean. You got to remember, he's in Scotland. He needs to carve it on the tablets first.
Oh,
well done, Sean.
Okay.
I remember Google. Oh dear. So yeah, that's happened as well. I've had a very bewildering week. There's been all sorts of news in the news.
Well, we should probably start off with the sad one first.
Go
on. American actress Tawny Kitaen passed away Friday.
And who is Tawny Kitaen?
She was the girl in the Whitesnake videos from the 80s. Here I Go Again, In the Still of the Night, Is This Love? She was also in the movie Bachelor Party. She was the redhead bride-to-be. She was married to David Coverdale for 2 years, And
who's David Coverdale?
David Coverdale is the lead singer for Whitesnake.
I'm spotting a link.
Yes. And she
I'm
was married to I believe a pro baseball player until there was some ugliness and they got a divorce. But she has 2 daughters.
You memorized her wiki page.
I had her poster as a teenage boy.
Right, enough said. There's prevertness happening here. We're going no further.
It was the 80s, I mean, Dominic has posters on his wall.
There are a lot of them as well.
See?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dominic isn't a prevert about Daleks.
No, true.
She was on the cover of some Rat albums and stuff. And
Anyway, yes, there has been news. Not nice news. And we're not going to go into it, but there have been allegations made against Noel Clarke, John Barrowman, and also, and we're not including this, but there's also been some allegations made about certain members of fandom, which are quite horrific, actually. However, certainly when it comes to Noel Clarke, we don't know enough. The man, we're totally behind everybody who's coming forward. Come forward, tell your story. You will be believed. But it does have to go through a court of law. We can't say anything until there's some legal judgment, guilty or not guilty. Otherwise, though it's extremely unlikely anybody would get in touch with us, we could have our asses sued right off, to be fair. So we back the girls and boys entirely, and we encourage people to come forward, but we can't start throwing stones until we know the target is actually there. Is that a fair way of putting it?
First way you can say it, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, and you are?
I have no idea anymore. I've not got a clue. Interloper number 4.
Righty-ho. I'm getting this. It's like I'm having a rotating selection of Flashing Blade hosts at the moment. You never know what you're going to get each week.
Blame Virgin Media.
Sorry, you want Bob back?
Oh, I will retire for Bob. Bring Bob back. I will become an avid viewer again.
That's just it.
I'm starting to come.
You don't care because you can just leave this and just carry on watching and enjoy it. Doesn't matter to him. Oh, no.
I'll go back to fan mode. Yeah, bring back Bob. I'll start the campaign now.
Right, so anyway, I'm hoping to get Nick Briggs on for an interview. There's somebody else I want to bring on for an interview. Now, I'm going to ask you boys, do you want it as a surprise when they just turn up? Or would you rather know in advance? It's not been arranged yet, so...
Definitely.
I'd rather know in advance because I'm not very good with surprises because I'll end up just go.
Okay. Well,
and then
obviously,
I'll move for the show.
I don't want to be doing that.
We're not going to be
I want to be appropriately dressed.
Yeah,
I would like
that's
wear
good
something
thinking,
better
if
than
I'm
a
honest
t-shirt.
with you. I mean, all right, I'm always in my dressing gown and PJs, but I'm at home, I don't give a damn. Right, so yes, so hopefully Nick Briggs, I've got to get in touch with him. I'm hoping to get John Coleshaw on.
Oh, nice.
It struck me last night, because I'm not a great one for audiobooks, but I found the Five Doctors audiobook on Audible. I listened to the thing in one sitting. John Coleshaw's bloody brilliant. It really, really is. And he does all the voices, or he gives the impression of them. But you can see the genesis of some of the stuff he does nowadays from back then, such as Nick Courtney. You know, and that's wonderful. Also, you can tell that we've got a fan reading it, because what is going on tonight?
Oh my goodness! Now he's gone.
Did this happen while I was away? Did Brian drop off?
No, that's just it.
Well, it's the rule of the Highlander. There can be only one.
That's
outstanding. Can be only one.
Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, John. And you can tell it's a fan reading it, because in the novelisation, the Castellan doesn't say, no, not the mind probe. However, just before, you've got Verussa saying, Commander, you're authorised to use the mind probe. And because we couldn't get that wonderful line, he read the Verussa line as, Commander, you are authorised to use the mind probe. And he just got the inflection right. So anybody listening who knows that bit, because we're immediately sat there waiting for, don't do that.
Sorry, the kids were going home.
Anybody who knows the Five Doctors is waiting for that line to come, just to see how Coleshaw's going to perform it. But of course, it's not in the book. So he gave it to us, just slightly differently. So yeah, I want to get John on. Not so much to talk about all the impersonations and such. I want to give. Well, no, we can do that, but
I was going to be do your Boris, do your Taggart, do your private.
He's not a performing monkey.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
that's
come on.
that's part of it. I want to give him a chance to hang out and be a fan.
Aye.
All right.
You know. Well, yeah, we'll discuss a couple of the Big Finish things, you know, and how marvellous it is that he's done them and he does them so well. But, yeah. We're 28 minutes in.
Well, maybe for you, I'm like 3 minutes in.
It just keep the clock.
You're not being paid for those minutes. I'm sorry, you're not.
Your clock just keeps on.
You guys are getting
stepping.
paid? Son of a bitch.
No, of course not. Of course not. No.
Right. Okay. So anyway, oh God Almighty. And now from the worlds of BBC television, it's Doctor Who. It's Doctor Who. Comment made last week that our closing titles are a little bit too long. Tough, because I have no way of editing them.
Who said that though? Who actually said our titles were a bit too long?
I did.
No, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's not.
Man, whoever said that is a real.
Yeah, one of these internet trolls, obviously. Just ignore them.
No. I'm sorry. That would involve feedback. We don't have feedback. We broadcast to avoid. It's like SETI, the Search for Intelligent Life. That's what we're doing here. We're beaming out into space in the hope that one day we'll contact somebody.
Yeah. Let's hope we avoid the thing that was in Quatermass, but we'll get to
Yes,
that.
we're going to get to Quatermass. Let's talk about Quatermass. The sixth Professor Quatermass and his plucky girl assistant, Joe Cap. They're singing for their supper at British television. This is 20 minutes into the future. We are looking at an England and indeed a world that has fallen to chaos. British TV itself used to be BBC, ITV, all the wonderful things. But no, it's shrunk down to this one thing with lowest common denominator programming.
The BTV, I thought it was great.
British telly. And so Quatermass has gone down there. He's been invited on a programme because he's one of he's the great space pioneer. And there's a new project going on, the Hands in Space project. Where America and Russia are going to connect a space station in space. And I know, Brian. I know. Who'd have thought it? If they hadn't have done that... Oh, by the way, Brian, spoilers. Sorry.
I'm saying the same for Sean. Sean's going to watch
Spoiler
this later, so I'm warning him. This is the bit.
Yeah, you might want to, actually, love, because there is a fair bit.
Wait, Hands in Space. Is this anything like Manos?
It's a bit Apollo. It's essentially Apollo-Soyuz. Yeah. You got to remember, this was originally written around about 1970, 71, because the BBC were going to make it. Then that fell through, and eventually ITV picked it up. Euston Films, who'd done The Sweeney, who'd done Minder, etc. So it was in good hands. Indeed, one of the producers was Verity Lambert. So Quatermass is just going there because his grandchild, Hattie, has run away. Quatermass has been out of it. He's been living up in Scotland, isolated. He's very shocked to see the state of the place. What's going on? Because he got mugged on the way to the TV station.
But do you think it was disrespectful that he's referred to all the way through this, including by the kind of narrator as old man Quatermass?
Yeah,
But then by the end, it kind of becomes a badge of honor.
That's just it. It's get your words right, Siobhan. It's feeding in the themes that are going to be. Remembering again when this was written, we're looking at the hippies, and some of the certainly during the 70s, you had an awful lot of violence on the streets. Skinheads and the like. So again, this is Nigel Kneale trying to account for it. It goes wrong. The space station in space is in bits. And unfortunately, Quatermass did sort of get a little bit heated because he's disgusted by what he's seen. And they blame him. So Joe Cap takes him away to a really lovely little place with 2 aerial dishes and a beaker, stone circle. In the meantime, we do hear on the news that there's been a huge explosion in Brazil. Once again, Nigel Kneale chucking stuff in via the media to further the plot. It's the final Quatermass, 1979, 4-part Quatermass that was broadcast on ITV. I think it was Thursday nights at 9. Might have been Wednesday nights at 9. I can't remember. It is my favourite piece of British science fiction television, possibly full stop.
I would have to agree. Wholeheartedly.
I mean, it doesn't try to show shiny robots or anything like that. It's all right. It's set slightly in the future, but it's a future we could find ourselves in if we're not careful. And it's told, Euston Films again, it's told with a sense of realism, a gritty realism that is a direct hangover from the 1950s productions. This isn't silly sci-fi with tinsel and Bako foil. This is the themes coming through are the sci-fi, if you like. It's not the robots. Well, no robots. It's nothing like that. It's something you need to think about rather than whilst you're watching. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to pass on to Eddie now, because Eddie's the only one who's seen this, which is deeply sad. We've got to find a way of getting you to watch it, Bri.
It's the goddamn BritBox.
Well, it's not that. You also got a Blu-ray player that won't play multi-region discs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two, actually. No.
And neither of them play multi-region.
And neither of them will play it. No. I have one for the computer now, which, admittedly, I needed beforehand.
I've now got two Quatermass box sets, both of which play. Thank God I didn't buy a new Xbox. Come on, Eddie. Talk to me about this, because you went into this. I don't know if you knew what you were getting into.
Well, I sort of did, right? Because when this was transmitted, 1977.
79. It was, I think, it was one of the big hitters for when the ITV strike finished. And that was the case. We're back with Quatermass.
Well, I remember this in transmission, and I remember at the time, as an 8-year-old, this absolutely terrified me. I made some flippant comments last week about how it coloured it terrified me of hippies. That's one of the things I took out of this as a child, right? It was in terms of, and again, watching it all the way through to the end, kind of those memories kind of started to come back.
Hang on. This must have caused some sort of problem in your psyche, because you're scared of hippies, but I bet you like Shaggy.
I like Scooby. I don't know. Shaggy, there was always that hint of... Scooby always get the better of Shaggy, so that kind of tinted it. So that was...
All right, okay. Please do carry on with this.
No, the whole thing with the planet people, because I've got this memory in the back of there thinking, at least I'm not old enough to be a planet people, so I'd be safe through this. Safe through this. And my mum had me when she was in her 40s, so by this point she was in her 50s. So it was kind of like, yeah, my parents are not going to become...
It's the reverse, the Tomorrow People effect, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. So, going back, I watched it again through nefarious means, because it was on YouTube for a wee while, because I always had an affection for it. And I watched it again. But again, YouTube, small screen, watching it in BritBox, big screen again for this. It's just fantastic stuff. It has elements of the traditional Quatermass. Mm-hmm. And the lot of the horrific stuff, like, so you've got the planet people, the young kids, and then you've got the gangs who start to get consumed with this. They start to get overpowered by this force that's compelling young people to go to the kind of stone circles
through space.
Yeah, and it's this thing surrounding space, and it's the whole thing around what happens to them is there's a light, but there's nothing graphic or gory around them that get disintegrated, because they're basically...
The leftovers are a bit horrible.
The leftovers, I was going to get to that, because there's one horrific thing in that, and it was really got to me, right? And it's because in my later years I've become a dog lover. There's a bit in Ringstone Round where it's Cap's dog.
Yeah.
And that really got to me, and it's like, so again, spoilers, people, because I intend to go through some of the stuff around this, because it is really quite great. This is great sci-fi, well written. So there's that, and then there's the big event in was it Wembley Stadium?
Yes.
Where it was like there's 70,000 of them in the stadium, and we see that through Quatermass manages to get underneath into the car parking just outside of the kind of like the range, the range, and it's all off camera, but it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. 70,000 kind of innocents to just taken away, and Quatermass kind of works out that this is kind of some sort of narcotic thing. It's an intelligence.
It's the 456 all over again. Well, rather before the 456, Torchwood. Children of Earth.
Well, that's what's going to get to Children of Earth.
Yeah.
I'm watching this for probably the third time, and I'm thinking, Torchwood, I love Children of Earth, but you buggers, you've ripped this off something rotten. I mean, it really is. Children of Earth have taken a lot of influence from this.
And there was me trying to find something to go with watching this Quatermass. I should have thought of it, Children of Earth.
Children of Earth. Yeah, when I got to the last episode, because so there's this intelligence sending a probe out, looking to try and take the essence from youth to some sort of, and Quatermass thinks it's some sort of pleasure they take from it. Because there's a scene at episode 2, episode 3, where the Russians and Americans again unite to send out a shuttle to try and communicate with this entity that they've figured out. And it's not there to communicate, it's there to harvest.
It's a machine.
That's exactly how he describes it. So again, it's brilliantly acted as well. I apologise, right? Last week I'm making, Simon McCorkindale. Oh man, Simon McCorkindale is brilliant in this. Simon McCorkindale is totally pulled through the ringer around this. He's the quintessential hero, episode 1. And then things start to go. Can I go on into this, Javon?
Yes, please.
By episode 2, so you explained it's one of the stone circles is beside his community. It's what's the word? It's like quadruple bank.
And where you got the radio station, and you got the
radio station, radioscope, and through that he goes away to another one of the sub-satellite stations to try and do a repair. And at that point, all the planet people are converging on stone circles. His kids and his wife are there, and his dog. And they basically, when it lands and it's consuming everybody around about them, he loses his wife and he loses his children, and he loses his sanity. I mean, he turns up again by episode 4, and by that point, he's a totally and utterly broken man.
Yep.
It's just that I cannot say enough good stuff about this. So we've got the whole thing around Neil writing about it. So if you think back to the time, like you said, with the skinheads, we had the violence in the football terraces. There was the concerns around fuel shortages. We had strikes,
electric power cuts.
Yep, and it was Nigel Neal framing this in a kind of science fiction explanation. And again, it's just. It's well the scenes that they've got with like the space station and the satellite, the model work in that is I mean, that could hold up today. It still holds up as for storytelling and special effects today. John Mills, sorry, Toby, but John Mills is Quatermass. He's out there looking for his granddaughter, and again, spoilers, people. By the time you get to the end. It's the very last scene. He's reunited with his granddaughter.
We won't say how it ends.
So again, I will stop there.
But they are reunited.
They're reunited.
I have a couple questions. Please. Do you think this was influence or an influence upon the TV show for kids, Children of the Stones?
No, because Children of the Stones came before this.
Oh.
Admittedly, like I said, the original script was going to be done by the BBC around about 1970-71, I think. And Children of the Stones is around that side, but it's Harlech Television, an ITV franchise. No, it's a very different thing. And I think Children of the Stones is actually a book. I think it's an adaptation.
Yeah, it's a novel. It's based off a novelization. Yeah.
But I can see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Maybe it's because I've reached a certain age of years as well.
Hang on, we need to stop here. Do you remember us talking about him getting a pipe?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that hasn't happened yet. But you notice he's wearing his brainy specs.
Ooh.
Well, actually, it's because I'm having to look at you on my small screen, so I can actually see in case you write anything. That's me hitting a certain age where I need to wear my spectacles more, which takes us back to one of the greatest themes ever in this in Quatermass. So all the way through it, you get through episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. The episodes 2, 3, and 4. Every episode starts with "Old Man Quatermass," and it's like, but. The whole thing around this is that with it's people of a certain age are the heroes in this because they are not affected by this entity that's actually compelling young people to these stone circles to meet their impending doom. So Quatermass in episode 2 discovers a bunker of these elderly people and they're helpless. They're dependent on the gangs to actually kind of keep alive. It goes back to those guys because they've still got a use. There's people there that are elderly scientists that they're not past their prime. They're still
So
and
how
they
old
sort
was
it
John
out.
Mills during this?
Sorry, say again.
How old was John Mills during
I'd
this?
say he must have been in his late 70s.
No,
Must have been
I
his
wouldn't
late
have thought he'd
70s.
I wouldn't have thought he'd been that old. Not late 70s, surely. Do you mean
Well,
Quatermass
early
or John Mills?
John Mills. I think it was John Mills.
Yeah, John Mills.
I couldn't. I suppose you'd have to look up his birth date.
Oh, but he's brilliant in this, Brian. And the whole thing around it's because he has to rely on people of a certain age to come together to figure out what's going to happen. They also figure out the kind of how the alien. They want to trap the alien, and I'm not going to go into too much into this because it figures into the end. But they figure out a trap, and they set it up, and it's all the elderly people that basically turn everything around. It's
Hang on.
just seriously, I cannot rave about this enough. Sci-fi is
Maths, please.
When was he born?
1908 from 1979.
1908 from 1979, so you'd have been 71.
There you go. That's how old he was. Look at that. Communal maths.
No,
There
no,
you
I
go.
was just thinking it'd be hilarious if he was like in his 50s, 60s, and we're saying old man Quatermass.
Yes.
Oh, God, no, that'd
Three
be
of us.
depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the old thing. What's it seen on Facebook? It's a case of, my student today said, back in the 1900s. And it's a case of, what? Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just heartwarming in the fact that it was like, so it brings back the old soldiers, his old scientific crew.
Ethel from
And
EastEnders.
again, they figure it out, they set it up, they sort it out. And it's the Quatermass, the Pit, Quatermass Experiment, all great stuff, but this is my Quatermass. I remember it from when it was first broadcast. I'd watch this again. I think there's probably tons in this I've missed, just in this
UK
watch.
viewers, it's available on BritBox, which we thoroughly recommend because BritBox is brilliant, to be fair. The interface
Only
is still
in Britain.
naff.
Not for viewers in the US.
US viewers, the Blu-ray's available from Network DVD. However, make
Britain.
sure you have a multi-regional Blu-ray player.
If you're not in Britain, you're fucked.
Okay. Could one of you type to Sean, please, that he can unmute? We're going to move on from Quatermass. All we're going to say is it's one of the best things since sliced bread. Go out and watch it. The music's amazing. And the way that...
yeah.
The one thing you don't quite realise, and it only comes in at the end when the two little girls are playing, right at the very end, is the incidental music is the harmony to the song in the story, Huffety Puffety Ringstone Round. And it just meshes it together beautifully.
The whole thing around where the kind of the sun gets blocked, and we're not going to say why, but the sun gets blocked, and there's that effect that's in the last episode as well. David Bowie, Ashes to Ashes.
It was when they did it for the Blu-ray, they really tinted it up because on the original thing it was, well, it's there, but it's a bit pale and wishy-washy. Anyway, Sean's unmuted.
I'm assuming BritBox must be the
Really
touched
like
up
to
version.
see a lot of remakes of this stuff.
It's seminal British sci-fi, and I mean, to be fair,
I mean, with today's
It holds
graphics
up.
and
It still
today-
holds
no,
up.
I'm not so certain. Graphics, when it comes to Quatermass, graphics aren't important.
no, they're not. But
It's all
Still.
about the themes and the characterizations.
And the model work in this as well
and a
still
lot of
holds up
them are
today.
still relevant.
Well, exactly. I would like to see. Oh, I don't know. Would I like to see a proper remake of the Quatermass Experiment? I'm very worried what a modern day committee would produce. However, we're not quite finished with Quatermass.
Oh, joy.
Oh no, this one's a good one. You're going to like this. This is a bit
Okay.
different.
I've enjoyed Quatermass so far that I could see.
Yeah. Hello, Jess, sweetheart. Yeah. So, as an aside, not as homework, but I do recommend you listen to the Neil tapes, which I've mentioned before. It's
Got them.
yeah.
Got them.
I think they've got them on that Blu-ray. Oh no, they haven't. They've got them on the DVD box set. But that's a very interesting listen. The other thing, and we're going to do it for next week. We're going to watch a film that could have been a Quatermass film. It's a nice one. It's got a very young Fraser Hines in it. It's called X the Unknown. Yes, very generic title. I think it's available on things like Amazon and whatever.
Nothing to do with V.
No. This is X the Unknown. And when you watch it, you'll see what I mean when I say it could have been another Quatermass film. But there's a certain depth to it that's missing. Again, we will point this out next week. Now, you're probably wondering, now we've essentially come to the end of Quatermass, what are we going to be doing? We had a discussion, because I like to try and give the boys the impression that this is a democracy.
Democracy. Oh, we know better.
We're going to be looking at Doomwatch. Well, what survives of it? It was created by Jerry Davis and Kit Pedler. Jerry Davis was script editor for Doctor Who, wrote a couple of stories. Kit Pedler was at one point the scientific advisor of Doctor Who, and of course him and Jerry Davis came up with the Cybermen. Doomwatch is essentially about a government organisation that's there to look into things that might be damaging to humanity, essentially. And in fact, it was so successful, it's still a buzzword for that sort of thing. You know, ecology, things going wrong, or whatever, the Doomwatch scenario. So we're going to watch what survives of it. And, yeah. After Doomwatch, I'm not sure. I think we're going to look at the sci-fi anthology series Out of the Unknown. 1960s, BBC Two, science fiction.
I thought we were
anthology.
doing V somewhere in there.
Oh, yes, we were going to chuck V in there somewhere as well, the miniseries, weren't we? Yes, you're quite right. I'm sorry. I'll work that out, don't worry.
We have time.
Yeah, basically.
So for this, okay, so you don't want Attack of the Unknown starring Tara Reid from 2020.
Sorry, Brian.
Hey, it's okay.
All right, pre-that.
I'm over her.
I thought we were going to do that other thing. If there's any episodes of it left out there as well, that was at the Bum Tittity Bum show. I was quite looking forward
We're
to
not
reviewing
looking at the Tittity Bumpety show.
Oh, why? Because it's kids' TV.
Because it exists as a special fragment inside Quatermass episode 4. Oh, dear.
Okay, so it's not on BritBox.
Oh, what, X the Unknown?
Yeah.
It might be an Amazon jobby. It's a good film. It's a very typical sort of 1950s, 60s black and white sci-fi scary film.
Oh, I have the trailer on YouTube.
But you'll see what I mean about it being the Quatermass film that was never done. Dominic, are you going to talk?
I haven't seen Quatermass, so I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Well, that's better. Shout at me. Shout at me for going on for too long.
Dominic, seriously,
I
if
have
you
a
get the
movie
chance,
that's almost
BritBox,
Quatermass,
watch it.
but
You'll love
not
it.
Quatermass.
Trust me, you'll love it.
Good. So they both spoke over each other. You now know what not to do.
There we go.
Me and Brian have spent hours rehearsing
We've
talking
worked
over
on
each other.
this.
Yes.
We've timed this perfectly.
I've mentioned it before when gaming, and you'll be in the voice chat room, and it'll go quiet for a while, and then suddenly something will happen, or you'll come up with something, and you've got to talk. And as soon as you open your mouth, 3 other people start talking at the same time. It's
Okay.
scary.
I have 2 things. One,
Have you? That's good. That's more than Goebbels.
Yep. It's not on Amazon. Not available. And 2, I have a movie that's almost Quatermass, but not Quatermass. Have any of you ever seen Annihilation?
No.
No.
It's a modern movie. Has Natalie Portman in it. It's good. It's good.
What am I looking for? Oh, yes. Amazon Prime. It might be that you have to use your VPN Just
I'm
let me
writing
know.
these
that
down.
works.
So, X the unknown, annihilation.
X. There we go. Ooh, okay. I've actually bought it already. It's on Amazon UK Prime. It's about £3 to buy, apparently.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
If you want, you don't have to, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I may just watch Annihilation again. That was a good movie.
well, we'll look into that. You'll have to sort of point us out where, what streaming services or whatever.
Yes.
That'd be
yes.
nice to have
What
something to watch.
streaming services?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Streaming services.
They do many things.
We don't do any naughty things here.
We don't do naughty things at all.
Har.
Yar, matey.
Okay, if you say so. Look, we were going to look at the Stones of Blood. Are we going to bother looking at the Stones of Blood? Because we already looked at the Stones of Blood.
You looked at it. Yes.
But however, let's look at the Stones
I
of
didn't
Blood.
watch it again because I don't watch
Because-
Quatermass to get the whole.
All right, you ready for this? Dominic,
Hello.
talk to us about the Stones of Blood, love.
Jesus. Okay, so, I mean, am I the only one going to speak since you've already covered it?
No. I might be.
What?
the-
Stop nodding,
probably
Brian.
speak over you.
Anthony will speak because she can't help herself.
That's very true.
Okay, well, Stones of Blood. I mean, yeah, it's not an average story. It's not but it's not one of Tom's best. But it's not the worst either. But I'm saying that from the perspective of someone who is not really a fan of the Key to Time. Shoot me.
It's
but-
going up! It's going up! It's
Stop
up!
that!
Dear God, boy!
This
Dear,
is your
dear,
first.
Child,
This is
what are you
first.
saying?
I'm just not a fan of it. That's not no. Take it away. I didn't
It's
say
his
it
first
was
time.
bad.
It's not worthy
Eddie,
of the
post it
diamond
to
logo.
him.
No,
Actually,
no,
I've seen his hair get a
no.
bigger one.
Yeah, I've got his address. It's in the post. First class tomorrow morning.
Yeah. You don't
But
like
then
the
you'd need to
Key
post
to
it back.
Time, Dominic.
I like season 18.
Why
So,
don't you
Dominic,
like it?
I like
What
that.
is it about season 16 that niggles you?
It's weird. I've just never been able to really get into it. I know there's like the whole arc and everything. I just feel like it just drags on and just gets a bit repetitive, even though the stories are different. I watched it when I was a few years ago as part of that Doctor Who on Twitch marathon, and that was the only part of Tom Baker's era that I just found myself drifting away from the most. I just couldn't hold my attention,
Fascinating.
and I just wasn't able to really enjoy it. I feel like maybe it's just the fact that I'm not entirely amazed by the Graham Williams era when he stopped trying to be Hinchcliffe. And then he just kind of like that interim between that and season 17, which was kind of more the same, but with the fun and the camp factor driven up to 11. I just feel like this one's just nah, it's just not for me. Not for me.
That's interesting because fandom is split. Oh yes, fandom is split when it comes to the Graham Williams era.
Wait, fandom is split?
Yeah, there's a
No.
disagreement. Can you believe
The
it?
hell you say?
I know, quite so. Some people, like myself, I absolutely adore the Graham Williams era. Yes, I can see the faults of it, but I think the Key to Time is when he's really hits his stride. However, other people, it's too camp, it's too silly, it's whatever. I like the Graham Williams era because it brings back gods and monsters again. Yeah, the Doctor's playing. It's almost a magical universe. That's why I like the Graham Williams era. But, Dominic, you make fair points. You see, it is possible to disagree on the internet and not have an argument.
Without shouting at each other, it is quite possible.
Harmony tonight, boys and girls. Harmony. And a cat. Yeah.
I do like that.
Sorry, Moshe's he's just come in from the outside because I'm not sure where else he could have come in from. And I think it must be spitting or something because he's damp.
Oh,
Mosh,
It's a little rainy here too.
So, I like it. Stones of Blood. there's too much to like. Obviously, it's Professor Rumford. I can't remember who came out with it, but you basically had a team up of Professor Rumford, Amelia Ducat from the Seeds of Doom, and I can't remember who else, but they'd be solving crimes on ITV4. It would have been great. It is a nice... I remember watching this sort of... It must have been original transmission. Or I might have watched the repeat. Ooh, I don't know. I certainly remember The Ship in Hyperspace. It's got this wonderful gothic feel to it for the first 2 episodes, and then it suddenly goes through the looking glass, and suddenly the Doctor's being judged by special effects, which is a lovely joke, and I think works. I really do. He's up against bureaucracy. He's up against machines that have no concept of what justice truly is, and even though they're called the justice machines. So, boys, do you want to say anything else? I mean, I know you've already spoken about it, but is there anything you'd particularly like to talk about? Okay,
Well,
good.
the whole...
Go on, Eddie, go on.
No, again, I'm just going to repeat myself anyway, so shut me up. But it was just Stones of Blood was brought back so that we could do a compare and contrast and show, oh, look how Quatermass was still being influenced and other things. Nah. People, Children of Earth, yes, that's no.
Oh, no. The only thing, like I say, I think Toby suggested Stones of Blood because there were standing stones in it.
Yeah.
That was the link. It wasn't a thematic link. However, like I say, as we discovered, it is Children of Earth, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah. We've got to find a way for you to watch this. It's bugging me you haven't had a chance to see it.
Yeah. We'll get there.
We will. We'll somehow do it. I have a
Figure it
cunning
out.
plan of a way I could do it.
A cunning
Cunning
plan.
plan?
However, it would involve computer time, a fair amount of space on the hard drive, and the internet.
And a piece of bubble gum and 2 wire ties.
Have you been watching MacGyver again?
I may have.
Okay,
MacGyver.
fair enough. Right, we discussed this. Right.
Hey, just because I built a house with popsicle sticks.
You see, I don't think I've ever seen MacGyver. I know of it, mainly because of Stargate.
I know of it mainly because of The Simpsons.
Of course.
MacGyver.
MacGyver.
This week in MacGyver.
Right, so that was Stones of Blood. Next week, this is, you can blame Toby Haydock for this because he's just released a series of podcasts about this
We seem to
particular.
be blaming Toby a bunch for stuff.
Every time I listen to it and I think, oh, hang on a second.
He's not here to defend himself either. Fair game.
Isn't
No,
it?
no. He's been providing inspiration. It's a good thing. We're going to look at The Time Warrior, John Pertwee story. And it's a lot of fun, so enjoy it.
That's the one with the Centauran?
It is. It's Lynx.
Oh, nice, yes. You like it?
Yep, it's a good one. It is a good one. So enjoy that. So we got that. We got the well, quite frankly, the first Blake. Have we moved on to Blake 7? Yeah. Oh no, hang on a second. We've got Big Finish to do. Yeah.
We still do. We get, yeah.
You?
Yes, we've got Big Finish to do. The first Doctor box set. 2 stories, two discers, basically. The first one I could see Hartnell himself having a huge problem with, because it is, as a play, it's brilliant. It's a great play, but I couldn't see Hartnell accepting it because it's just too nasty. The second one, the Shakespeare one, is brilliant. Hartnell would have been having the time of his life in it. As it is, we have David Bradley. And David has, and I hate to sound patronising, and I don't mean to be, because how dare I, he's developed his performance from the initial stuff in Space and Time and Twice Upon a Time. He's now speaking a lot more quickly. and there's more colour coming into it. It is not a Hartnell impersonation. This is his own Doctor, and he's really starting to colour in the gaps now, and it's wonderful to listen to. And I thoroughly enjoyed both of these. In the first one, the TARDIS lands on Earth. But it's a terrible xenophobic place which doesn't want aliens, which is a slight problem because they have scanners, and it's a case of, well, who's an alien here? The Doctor fiddles so that Susan comes across as pure Earthborn, so she's all right, obviously. The Doctor comes across as not human, and oddly, so do Ian and Barbara, which is a bit odd, but it shows that over the years how much the human genome has changed. They're very... The people here are very sadistic. It's a dictatorship with some superbly played characters. I think it's Clive Owen as Daddy Dominus. Oh, it's like listening to an overfed pope. It's wonderful. Like I say, the story, the acting, all of it is brilliant. I just cannot see Hartnell going for this at all. He'd have been appalled. The second one, basically they end up in Shakespeare time, Elizabethan times, bump into Shakespeare, which puzzles Shakespeare slightly. Doctor, did you say? I knew a doctor once. And it's all to do with the Duke of Essex. Now, he supports the Queen, but the Queen hasn't been seen for a few months. And Cecil, the Queen's basically de facto number 2, is running things, and he's not doing a very good job, and the people sort of want Essex to take the crown. However, Essex doesn't want to. He supports the Queen. It's his sister who wants him to take the crown. It's a Lady Macbeth job again. This is a glorious, fun romp, and especially when Elizabeth I turns up, because she too remembers a Doctor that she didn't like very much in the end. Luckily, the Doctor doesn't look anything like the man she married. And I thought that was a nice touch, a little bit of retroactive continuity, which you obviously wouldn't have had in the Hartnell days. So I thought that's nice. They're tying it together very gently, not making a thing out of it. Yeah, that's cool. So, who wants to go first on this one? Good.
Let's go with disc 1 up there.
Disc 1.
Oh, I listened to this one, so I did the
Oh, yes, you both listened to different ones, didn't you? What about you,
Yeah,
Dom? Have you had a chance to listen to this?
I listened to disc 1.
Right, so, okay, let's do disc 1. Dominic, talk to us about disc 1, please.
Well, as you were saying just before, I always had this weird feeling about the first Doctor Adventures because obviously Bradley was doing them, and I just couldn't quite separate him from that Twice Upon a Time performance and that the documentary performance as well. But when I was listening to this, because always with like the previous boxers and stuff, I always felt like it was difficult trying to imagine him as the Hartnell Doctor. You always get the Bradley Doctor, and it just like kind of takes you out of the moment.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But this one, as you were saying, he definitely puts the spin on the performance in his own way, and it comes across as a really solid incarnation of the Doctor.
Yes.
Not necessarily Hartnell atypical, but this is a Bradley Doctor. And
this is a First Doctor. It's his First Doctor. Fair
like
dues.
you had, exactly. Like you had Richard Hurnell First Doctor, but you've now got David Bradley First Doctor. Again, is a version of that character, but with a separate identity, and it really works.
Yeah,
well, I'm just going by my notes.
he makes notes.
I do, yeah. I listened to obviously the For the Glory of and I really enjoyed it. Again, as you were saying, Siobhan, I could also agree with the fact that Hartnell probably wouldn't have gone for this. But I feel like tonally it fits in well with stories like the Aztecs.
Yes, I'll agree with you there. I can see that. Yes.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the whole xenophobic theme as well, and the whole plague, which is kind of relevant, I guess, to our modern times. But yeah, I think it's totally a good story, and obviously not going to say too much because of the new,
It's a new
of it
release.
all.
Yeah.
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 But I genuinely thought it was a great outing for this this now fully formed David Bradley Doctor Who.
That's a nice way of putting that. Cyberlord 102. I don't know what ick means. You've typed ick this man.
I know this man.
Or fuck this man. He's tuned in by accident and realised
Oh.
what the hell it is he's
You're like,
watching.
this is
Or
not
probably
me.
hasn't realised what it is and doesn't want to if he's very sensible. Mind you, I say he. I know it says Lord, but it could be a she. Could be a they.
One of the
Who
two.
knows? Yeah. Nicely put, Dominic. We've done well tonight. Dominic's done really well there. Eddie did superbly on Quatermass. You're improving, Eddie. It's all down to my influence, of course. You can't
Oh
take
no, I
any
think it's
lessons.
Dominic's. Dominic's been giving me coaching sessions offline.
Ah,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And me and Brian have been practicing our synchronized talking over each other for months now. We're getting really good at it.
that I have to admit, I've been very impressed with the amount of time you put into that. Cyberlord. Yes, it is Dominic, the Purple Doctor.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Hello.
I know this man, IK. I know
Yes.
this one.
yes,
IK. Oh, now that makes
I'm
sense.
learning the youth speak.
Yeah, learning
Yes.
all the acronyms.
Isn't this good? Oh,
What was that album from Whitesnake again?
Hmm?
Siobhan?
Sorry, what?
What was that Whitesnake song again?
Oh God Almighty. Love in an Elevator.
That's Aerosmith. Here I
Yeah,
go
we
again.
had this problem earlier.
Yeah. It's okay.
Look, it's poodle rock. Yeah, it's guys with hair like poodles playing guitars.
Look at that.
Now, there's some
It's a
great
lot of glam
anthems.
rock.
There's some wonderful anthems, but they do look a bit silly. I'm going to be honest. Needs more.
Dominic has a fan.
Yeah, Dominic's got a fan. What's it
We're all
like,
just proud.
Dominic?
We have
what's,
absolutely nothing to do with this whatsoever. But
what's it like having a fan? I've been doing this now for 15 years. What's it like?
There was a little bit of.
Come on,
there was-
you have fans. I'm your fan.
Yes, Dominic. And there was
Did
a bit of activity on Twitter this week where people
Yes.
praising you up to the ninth and talking about how you're influencing podcasting and how the BBC should be. No, so yeah, come on, Siobhan.
All I was doing
Far,
was
far too modest.
look. Somebody was asking why the BBC didn't have an official Doctor Who podcast, and various members of the Doctor Who podcast alliance over the years have asked the BBC this. And I think it was when I interviewed Gary Russell all those years ago. It's on the original Flashing Blade audio podcast, which you can find on Mixcloud, obviously free of charge. It's a great interview, 2 parts. It's only supposed to last about an hour, but Gary just went on. It was lovely. But he basically said that, first of all, he thinks YouTube... Now remember, this is what Gary's thinking. YouTube would be the way forward. People like Dominic, for example, taking full advantage of the stuff you can do in your own living room now with effects and editing and everything else like that. The second thing is, having spoken to a couple of other people, the BBC, as far as I know, considers the Doctor Who fans more than adequately catered for by fan podcasts such as this. I know it's not technically a podcast, but
So by themselves, essentially.
yes, basically. You know, it's a case of we don't need to do this because it's already being done. I think the closest we got was the fan show with Crystal D,
Yes.
which I absolutely loved. And I wish that had continued because Crystal was brilliant presenting that.
Very lovely. Because I did an episode on how to cosplay Bill before Series 10 came out. Very fantastic experience. Both Chris Allen, the producer, and Crystal were such lovely people, very accommodating, very, very welcoming. And honestly, that show gets a lot of flack, and I don't feel it really deserves it.
You're kidding me.
Well, yeah,
Seriously?
the fan show used to get a lot of criticism for what it was, but I really thought that it was
The
very harsh
ungrateful
and
little
unjustified.
gits.
Yeah, well, Doctor Who fans of certain ilks just tended to look down upon it. And but the thing is, you never really know what you have until it's gone. And now it's gone. People are calling for all the more interaction with the fans and more official things. Well, sorry guys, you had it, but it's gone now.
No, you're quite right. No,
Yeah.
that's a great. Mind you, Crystal's gone on to better things anyway.
It
was a good stepping stone for her. I'm guessing she must have learnt a lot from it.
Exactly. Because it was one of her first real shows.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've been following Crystal since she had her Captain Crystal vlog channel on YouTube. So I was like, oh wow, it's a familiar face. And I'm really proud and glad that she has managed to develop a career to this point and got to do really cool things.
No, that's cool. Sean's just pointed out the bleeding obvious. Online Doctor Who fans weirdly trash Doctor Who a lot.
Yeah,
Sean?
yeah.
Sean, 'twas ever thus. Fandom has always been at each other's throats. Each season of Doctor Who has a particular journey to take. You have the initial, oh, this is great, this is lovely. Then it'll just fade off. And then it'll go into some form of, people just take the piss out of it. And then it will be rediscovered. And lo, it is the greatest thing since sliced bread. This is how Doctor Who fans work. However, during this journey, there will be numerous schisms so people can argue with each other. Because that's all Doctor Who fans know how to do. It comes from watching too many Eric Sayward strips.
I've seen, relevantly, I've seen a lot of people reevaluating the Stephen Moffat era. And we all know that when the Stephen Moffat era was on, there was no shortage of people ripping the hell out of it.
I loved it. So, I'm not one of those people.
One of my faves.
Yeah, I really enjoy it for the
Man terrified
part,
me.
but yeah.
But I tell the Russell T Davis era, right, which everybody espouses. Did I remember it correctly? By the end of it was like Russell T's just exhausted. They need to get somebody else onto this. His time is over. Time to replace him. Time to move on to something new. And similar people will then be on now saying, "Oh, but wasn't the Russell T Davis? It was character driven. Why don't we go back to that?" People just can't.
It's fandom. Wheel turns, civilizations rise. Wheel turns, civilizations fall.
And now the Chibnall era is kind of going back to that Russell T Davis formula of sorts, but people that gets more flack than even the Moffat era at this point.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next series is going to be like. However, if it really does kick off with Barrowman, they may have a slight problem.
Goodness. Yeah, right. That's the thing.
No, that can't be.
What?
In chat. That is never Gunny Stoner. If that's Gunny Stoner, I will put on a hat, I will then take it off, and I will then eat it. Do not lie, just to see me choke. I'm just saying. Gunny Stoner was a very, very old gaming friend of mine from City of Heroes when it was first out. We had a lot of fun together, a hell of a lot of fun together. Yes, but anyway, Gunny, you're welcome if that is you. If it isn't you, you're welcome. Hello. Right, so we're going to talk about Plague 7. Yeah, I'm sorry, we have to.
Oh, but the other Big Finish. Oh, we did that as
well.
Oh,
no. Brian has to talk about Big Finish now.
I do.
All on his own. Off you go. Do me a favour. Do not recite the plot. It's a brand new release.
Yeah, that's going to make this difficult. So, a while before the show got going, I asked a question. All right. See, I got a small problem with Big Finish. It's
this is the second week in the trot you've slagged Big Finish off.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but there is a small problem with it, especially when it has to deal with pre-existing characters.
You can make your complaint as long as you make it constructive. You come up with a solution to your complaint.
I'm not sure about the solution. That's out of my hand. That's out of my hand. I'm looking at Dominic for this.
Yeah, I don't send any review copies. It's that simple. He's trying to get out of it. That's what it is. He's trying to get out of it.
No. The problem is with pre-existing characters, you know the outcome of the story already. there's no sense of real danger for these characters in the situation they're going through, because you know how the story. This was a Hartnell show, and you knew what was going to happen with Ian, Barbara, and Susan all throughout it.
But
They were going to get out of it somehow.
I hate to say this, I'm going to misquote it and everything else, like paraphrase and whatever, but isn't the journey that's important?
The journey is
It's the story around it. Fair enough, you know they're going to be fine, but you've got to see what they go through.
You need to have
be
the
fine.
suspension of disbelief,
Yes,
as well.
yeah. But wouldn't you do
And-
that with Doctor Who
But
anyway?
we already know how their story ends. So if they're in this story doing an adventure, you know already what happens to them. You know, Susan leaves off on on another planet, and she's not there anymore, and then she goes into her Time War stories. There's no real danger. There's no real risk to these characters.
The thing is, you could also somewhat apply that to the TV show itself.
I think you're right, Dominic.
Yes.
We know full well the Doctor is never going to be killed. Never
Yeah.
going to be killed. Is it likely that a companion will be killed? Unlikely.
I look at Adric.
Unlikely.
Unlikely in the modern series, because the modern series doesn't want to give you that much of a downer. Yes, Clara was killed, but she was resurrected. Amy
Multiple
wasn't
times.
killed, she was just pushed back in time. Bill, she was killed, but she was resurrected. You know, she had a happy ever after.
Donna, she got her memory taken, but she got to live a happy life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A shouty life, but exactly.
Honestly,
so you
one of
it's
them
always
needs
the
to get
same throughout.
disintegrated. One of them needs to get disintegrated.
I can't see them doing it on
There's no real risk anymore.
a modern Doctor
The
Who
Doctor
story.
always saves them in the end. Either they die and they come back, or some other shenanigans happen and they come back, or go off to live a
Daughter of the
happily ever
Gods.
after.
Daughter of the Gods. I'm pretty sure you and I looked at that when we first kicked off this round of Flashing Blade.
Which one was that?
Actually, I may have listened to it before. It's a first and second Doctor story featuring the second Doctor with Jamie and Zoe, and the first Doctor with Stephen and Katarina.
Ah, yeah, Katarina.
All right, this is the example to prove the rule, isn't it? This is the exception, rather, to prove the rule. I see where you're coming from, but that is part and parcel of acceptance and the suspension of the disbelief.
I think then that with this story, I couldn't get my disbelief suspended enough.
Perhaps if you paid her more?
Possibly.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you
Or
get what
him,
you pay
I
for.
do not like to judge.
No.
right.
That's fair. But yeah,
You know you're a prevert. That's all I'm saying.
Can I inject something into debate, though? Because this fascinates me as well. I absolutely get what you're saying, Brian, and I think maybe it's that there's some classic big finishes out there, and again, that go-to for me is always going to be spare parts. Fifth Doctor, companions, you know exactly what's going to happen. The threat and the drama was around the characters that were on Mondas. It was around the characters that formed the incidental characters. It was
It's
so
not
well
just
written.
that. It is the inevitability of it is actually just weighs down on you.
yeah.
You know, it's superb.
And it's so tragic in terms of that. One again, I'm not going to spoil it because people. This is Big Finish at its best. It's so just it's heart wrenching. And I listened to the first box set in this, and I agree with everything that Dominic said. But I listened to this, and
Yes.
I'm not going to say the episode. It took me to an episode from Matt Smith's era of Doctor Who, and I'll leave it there. And at that point, you've spoiled me with some great stuff over recent weeks with Nigel Neal. I'm seeing a lot of things which are drawn from other science fiction. Big Finish does some great stuff, some original stories. Parts, Dark Eyes, that series as well is great. And again, it's everything else. I think Big Finish are doing some great stuff, and what they're doing as well is they're They're investing in new writers, new producers.
New First
They're doing
Doctor.
They're doing their annual their annual competition where they open it up to budding writers to come in with some ideas.
That's a
and
great idea.
I think that's the
perfect.
future, and that's where Big Finish will continue and always flourish because
Yes.
they're bringing in new talent.
They need to create the next generation because, in fairness to my loves over there, you know, we are all of an age. The next generation needs to start being trained and brought through. Forgive me, I'm very slightly in shock.
You okay?
We've got an active chat room.
Oh my.
Yes.
Christ's sake, what?
First time in 71 shows, we have an actor. They're talking away to themselves. Yes, it's just who's your favourite Doctor. I don't care. I think this is unnatural
amazing.
for the Flashing Blade.
Marvelous.
This is quite nice. Yes.
Yeah, this is what I wanted when I first kicked this off. To actually have a community chatting away whilst we were doing it, and hurling insults at us. That's to be fair. That's what I thought would happen.
We were having a grown-up debate as well around Big Finish and how it's investing in new talent and how it's been very creative in doing that.
Yes, and that's a fantastic point, and I applaud that.
But wait for it. But
I just don't see a lot of it coming through yet.
it takes time, love.
I know it takes time, and when it happens, I'll be more than happy to say this was a fantastic episode. I listened to this whole thing through. I want to listen again. Stuff like that.
Hang on. Who knows a bit about Big Finish's release schedule? Dominic, you're fairly on the ball with these things. When's the Ninth Doctor set? Is it this week or next?
In 3
Should
days.
be in a
In
couple
3 days. In that case, that's what we're going to be listening to next week. All right, the Ninth Doctor box set.
Well, I say 3 days. I mean, it's technically
It's
4
sometime-
days, but that was started.
yeah.
So basically, it's going to
It's
be
next week.
This week.
This weekend.
So that's what we're going to listen to. Now, again, you know where the Ninth Doctor ends up, but this is before the start of the journey that we see. So I'd be interesting to see your feelings on that when you listen to it. In that respect.
Oh, and I'll be more than happy to listen to it. I want
I hope
to
so.
know.
I do
It's
hope
one
so.
of those I want to know, but at the same time, it hasn't been pressing the buttons, you know.
All right. I'm sorry. We're heading down Ashes to Ashes territory here, aren't we?
Oh no! This is not Ashes to Ashes territory. This is nowhere near that.
We're going to
Yes.
do it one day, Brian. Oh yes.
God.
Careful.
luck.
Careful,
Wish you the
Icarus.
best.
Careful.
But Father, I
ruin
want to
his
fly
day.
closer to the sun.
Careful, Icarus.
Yeah, this is in nowhere near that.
I think
near.
that there's
that
an
level
element
of
as well.
courage.
There needs to be an element of gratefulness to Big Finish because we're still waiting on the next season, Jodie's next season, and every week we're getting something new, something to
Yet
listen
again,
That's the
they are holding the
They're
line
holding
for
it
Doctor
for-
Who.
They're
They
keeping
did it
it
during the
alive.
Sandbox
Yeah.
years. They're doing it now.
I mean, that's
And
the
they're
thing,
doing it.
really.
and recording
This is like the
during a
comic book
pandemic.
keeping the MCU
One at a
up.
time.
We're all excited. Sorry, we'll shut up.
We are very excited.
I was just going to
Bless,
say.
how are you
like-
going to sleep tonight?
I won't.
Big
I won't.
Finish is like the comic books keeping the MCU active.
Sorry, hold on a minute. Angela, do we have any Ovaltine? I'll find some.
Oh,
Somebody can't.
but
I
yeah,
haven't heard
I was just
Ovaltine
going to say
news.
as well the fact that Big Finish really, even though it's not accessible to everybody, obviously from a financial basis, it still carries itself with an element of hype, and those people that can enjoy it, they really can sink themselves into it. And if one can really get into it, then you can really just pick and choose whatever ones you want to listen to, and you've got a whole new adventure to embrace yourself in.
I think it's fair to...
And-
Oh, sorry, please carry on.
Oh, no. Over to you.
I was going to say, I think it's fair to say it has a large core following, but with other people
Yes.
it's popping in and out, picking and choosing. And we haven't mentioned the world record, the Guinness record.
Yes, very much so.
It's a
And
200
running.
honestly, Big Finish is a lot cheaper than comic books these days.
True.
Comic books are soaring up $5, $6 a pop.
They're in a bad state at the moment.
Yeah,
Mm.
they're in a very bad place.
Oh, what's the series that Big Finish did where it's the what ifs and it's like the what if it's
Doctor Who Unbound.
they are brilliant as well. If we could look them, Brian, they'd be right up your street because it's the whole thing around it's the alternative reality. There's one about the Valiad which I bought years ago. I'm going to re-listen to that actually.
That's what
I
I think they should.
absolutely-
They should
Yeah.
That's the
relabel
thing.
the Bradley Adventures as Doctor Who Unbound.
That's the thing.
Yes.
I really love the concept of Doctor Unbound. That's what partially what influenced me to do my own fan series and stuff. Because of that concept that anything can happen in a just some sort of, this universe where the rules of standard Doctor Who can and don't apply. And I really think that if they did more like that, maybe with more explosive topics, I think that could also be another success.
I think
Yeah, I want more of
Sean's
that.
made an interesting point in chat, which we'll pass on to Big Finish somehow. That I think they should strongly consider a subscription service where you can listen to older ones for free and you can get credits towards newer ones like Audible.
It's a great idea.
Again, Audible have a far larger audience than Big Finish. Would it be financially...
Financially viable, yeah. That is another thing.
The thing.
I do recall something along those lines being talked about before on social media, and
Yeah.
I feel like from maybe one of the Big Finish writers or something, from what I can remember, they did feel it was a little bit untenable at this present point in time, mainly because of that, like the base of people that they really have in terms of how many they would be able to get. So
I've got to contact Big Finish. I know they're review copies I get sent, but they're vanishing from my app.
oh
I wanted to go back and listen again to Terror of the Master.
yeah, of course.
It's not on my purchase list.
No.
So I'm going to have to get rid of them. It could just be a case of they're review copies, you get them for a certain amount of time, and then we take them back. Fair
Yeah.
enough. I mean, they get good use made of them. We review them as we're supposed to.
Yeah.
And we enjoy them 9 times out of 10, unless your name's Brian. Don't look smug at me.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's there now. I'm sorry, but it
Okay.
is. You earned that. I'm sorry. There we go. You had your one word. I've got to get
Wait. Did we just get 2? in
We've
one
had 2
show?
in one show, yes. It's happened before, but normally
It's
it's
rare.
only Eddie that gets them.
it's normally me.
And Eddie hasn't gotten a single
No,
one
Dominic
today.
has, and you have.
We're not finished yet.
That's
we're not
true.
finished.
That's true.
Okay, yeah.
Let's
yes.
see if Eddie can win
And
himself.
Dominic got his first today?
Yes, he did. It's a badge of honour. I want to get a T-shirt made like that for Hooverville.
That
When
would
is
be
Hooverville again?
It's beginning of October, I believe.
October.
Okay.
October
Maybe.
4th.
Yep, and I'm going, Eddie's going, Sean's going.
I want to
Positive
go.
thoughts.
Make your mind up and book, because obviously with COVID restrictions, there's less of a thing happening. But I don't care, because I tend to sit outside with a cup of coffee and just chat to people. That's all I do at conventions. Just
Doing
talk
that.
to people. It's nice. Unless I get asked to do something, which I don't think I'm going to this year. Cool. Right, so the first Blake has noticed a spaceship in space, and it's heading in a very funny place. So he decides to follow it, even though everybody else is going, "Are you bloody nuts?" Anyway, he does, and they find in the middle of nowhere a planet. I know. It's just amazing. Trust me, Brian, you've seen nothing yet.
Space, a planet?
Yeah.
The hell you say?
Yeah, and it's basically a Federation satellite. It's a puppet government. Everyone beams down, except for Avon, and get captured straight away. Gan, because obviously we need something important for Gan to do in an episode, gets tied up and does nothing. Just hangs on a wall for a bit.
Almost crucified.
Yeah. Everybody else gets to look at the men's chests covered in mud, which is nice. Jenna and Blake do actually talk to the leader of this planet, and he's not necessarily a huge fan of the Federation. Let's put it like this. However, there is a very big moral quandary facing Kerr Avon. He's on the ship. He's out of touch with everybody else. He's got Aurak, he's got Zen. And he proceeds to run through various scenarios with Aurak to see how survivable it would be. And the interesting point is, it's very survivable, and yet he still goes and rescues them. And I think that's just so he can go, Yabu sucks to you, I don't need you. Anyway, that was Blake 7. Who would like to go first?
I can be very brief around this one.
Okay, it's called Horizon, by the way, Series 2. Sorry.
No, not at all. It was without that moral quandary and that whole thing around Avon, this would have just been a very flat and ordinary episode. Yep. It's what saves it. It's what makes the episode. Blake's incredibly stupid. Yes. Doesn't listen to people. Doesn't listen to Avon. Goes in. Doesn't figure out the obvious that's up in front of him, puts everybody in danger. They all come down one at a time, get caught, and Avon saves the day. But Avon could have left, could have took everything, all of those assets at his disposal, and disappeared and lived a long, happy, fruitful life.
Might have been fruitless, but it could have been an empty, hollow existence.
Yeah, this is all about showing just how, even under that facade of sarcasm, he's smart, he's intelligent, and even though he likes to keep it, that little kernel hidden deep down inside of that, he's got affection for these people and he's loyal to them, and we'll see that in later episodes.
I still say there's an awful lot of look what I can do, respect me more in that. Dominic, did you get a chance to watch The Horizon?
Unfortunately, no. As I said, my busy week of things I can't talk about got in the way.
Yes. I'm glad we spent that time not talking about it.
Dominic is actually a secret agent. He's been working on that whole Jersey problem.
Jesus Christ. No, Brian, stop one more word, I'm going to have to kill you.
I was worried I was going to get called up for the Jersey militia. I really was.
Boy, it's good. It's a lucky thing I don't sit with my back to a window. Anyone could just shoot in at any point in time.
Dominic's still trying to figure out the Middle East. Let him do that first, then he can go over to Jersey, right? Like, give him time.
Well, yeah, something easy to start off with, like the Middle East piece, and then the Jersey France thing. He might be, he might be ready for.
I don't know. The Jersey France thing has been boiling for a long time.
Some things pay more than others, and I'm on the low pay grade, so.
Go
on, talk about Blake's.
Oh,
sorry, Blake's. I thought we were having a natural awkward pause.
So did I.
Yeah, so let's have an awkward pause.
Yeah.
So anyway, Brian.
Yes.
Blake,
the worst space pirate in history. I don't have a high opinion of Blake.
You've yet to meet Baben the Berserker.
I have a high opinion of a lot of the other crew. I don't have a high opinion of Blake. I mean, his crew is at the breaking point.
They are.
They are. Yeah.
They're having to take stims and stuff just to keep going. And he's like, let's go on another adventure. I just want even to look at him and go, fuck you. But I do get how Avon is showing the crew, hey, look, I'm better than Blake. I'm the alternative. But he's still kind of a dick. So if he was less of one, I could see the crew going straight with Avon.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the people skills.
No, that's fair. That is fair. What was I going to say?
He's a software developer,
That's what
Brian.
I was
That's his.
Yeah,
we know-
basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
He is the software developer
oh, hello. Hello, little cat.
in total.
The main arc for this series hasn't kicked in yet. However, this is definitely a sub-arc, which does feed in to the main arc at the end. So keep an eye on it. Brian, you normally give us what the next Blake 7 episode is.
Yes, the next episode is Pressure Point. Dun, 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 dun.
Ah, this is where the season arc kicks in.
5 episodes in.
I'm going to say nothing about this episode. I'm just going to let you watch it. All right.
Fair.
Did we enjoy Horizon? Thumbs up, thumbs down, middling.
One.
Jay Leno fly.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a filler.
oh, Dominic's got it spot on. He's mimicking the controls on my TiVo remote. That's brilliant. I like that. I just wish my TiVo worked. I can't get any sound out of the bastard
Oh
thing.
no, it's not the
Still?
I'm
You
having
haven't.
No, not been solved. I've gone onto the Virgin known forums, done things that other customers have suggested. Nothing's happened.
Oh, they should give you a new TV box. Maybe see
I
if that
can't
works.
get hold of anybody to sort that out. When you phone them up, you get put through a loop where they go through and they test your stuff remotely, then say, everything's fine, goodbye. Or they'll say, well, it's not up to scratch. We're going to send you a link. Goodbye. I want
Stop
to
paying
talk
your
to a
bill.
human.
You'll hear from them soon.
Oh, no, they'll just cut you
Yeah.
off. They'll just cut you off. I can't afford not to pay my bill. I need the internet. It's incredibly frustrating. I need a new TiVo box. I can't get hold of anybody or through any of their customer service systems online to get that sorted.
Have you
There's no,
tried
like-
a Twitter?
Oh,
Put a
God,
Twitter
yes.
post it down?
They gave me the number to phone so I could go through the loop. And I'm like, I need to talk to a human being, please.
Yep.
There's no service center or anything.
I mean, Virgin Media customer service has been bad in the past, but right now it's terrible. And has been for quite some time. I mean,
It's
how
only
long have
gonna
I been
get
trying
worse
to?
with the war
How long
effort.
have I been trying to get this sorted out?
From before Christmas, is it
Last
not?
summer.
No, I don't think.
Last summer.
I don't think it was before.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was before Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I ended up having to watch Doctor Who at Christmas on the iPlayer on the Xbox.
Can you get your subtitles on?
It's not the same.
We'll do. What you do is right. So we can do a simultaneous watch. You put your subtitles on, and I'll do the I'll do the sound effects for you.
Boys and girls, if you'd like to see this,
I can only say that this will only get worse with the war effort going on.
yeah, definitely. Now then, got a treat for you lot. You lot on YouTube, if you're actually watching this bit, which I highly doubt. Okay, I think it will be Wednesday this week. I'm not sure. We're going to be releasing an extra show, something we've pre-recorded. We were asked to take part in judging Eurovision 2021 for the Professor Dave's Ark in Space podcast. You can see the effect it's had on Brian.
I had blocked it out of my memory. Thank you for bringing
With
it
rings
up.
on their fingers and bells on their toes. Sorry.
Just gonna wear a nice jumpsuit and start doing.
He's
the
gone.
splits and
I've got rid of
twerking.
Eddie. Oh dear. We broke him. We broke him.
Again.
Just remember the Russians.
Yeah.
All about the Russians.
Yeah. So
No, Azerbaijan.
we liked
and-
Australia
and-
though. We did like the Australian. Anyway, no spoilers. So this show, what we've done, I've cut right down to about a 5-minute segment where we just give the scores. This will be put in Professor Dave's Ark in Space on his podcast. It's a great podcast. It's incredibly eclectic, and it's a lot of fun. Some very good points made. The thing is, I'm not quite sure when they're releasing this particular episode. It might be next weekend, and I won't release our video until their show is out, because they're the ones who asked us to do it.
Dated around the 15th. So
Oh, well,
maybe
that-
around.
Yeah, so as soon as it's released, I'll then release ours, which is a lot longer because basically it's a reaction video of us watching 12 Eurovision Song Contest entries.
What the devil? What the hell?
Dave Keith. Dave
You
Keith.
missed it. You
That's who
missed
it is.
You
Yeah,
weren't
yeah, oh
smart.
yeah, you were
weren't
clever.
here
You
for
were
this.
out. You were out of there, man. We
Brian,
weren't.
was this your first
No.
Eurovision? Was this the
There-
first
there-
time you'd seen
there was-
Eurovision?
This is my first Eurovision.
That's worth the
You've
price of
missed
admission.
some classics.
My God.
Oh, you missed the Russian fat guy.
Save all
Oh.
your kisses
Not
for me,
Eurovision.
which ends up with even though you're only 3.
Oh, the
Oh.
dance.
Yep,
that
the
should be-
dancing fat guy. That was
Oh,
There
the
was
Russian.
the,
Yes.
One.
the Swedish one that sung in Swedish that we didn't know what they were saying.
We had no idea. I think it was a recipe for
clue.
chicken.
It could have been. It could have been chicken soup for all we knew.
Where's the Vleudebiersmuur? So yeah, that's going to come out. It's going to be basically us reacting to 12 Eurovision videos, then trying to work out how to score the bastards. So that'll either be out on YouTube either this Wednesday coming, or whenever Dave releases his podcast. I'll give it a day and then I'll pop this up. We
Univision's
did have a
next weekend.
lot of fun doing it in a sort of strangely masochistic way. To be fair,
Yeah.
yeah.
We owe you, Dave.
Oh, we owe you big. This isn't the first time he's done this to us. Well, to me anyway.
If you notice, Dave doesn't do a live show.
Notice
reasons for
notice
this.
that, do you? And he goes on about,
Yeah.
oh, I have to edit and this, that, and the other. And
Yeah.
yes, yeah. You don't.
Oh, they
need-
tried the live show. Did he not do his quiz show that he did for a wee while? They did that live, did
Was
they
that
not?
live? I didn't think that was live.
Oh, well, if they recorded that, they can't.
The quiz show they didn't ask me to
Yeah.
take part in.
Or me.
I know.
Or
right.
me.
Yeah, frankly. Or Dominic.
It hurts.
Or
Or
Alistair.
down.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. We need to get in touch en masse and say, oi, next season of your
What's
quiz
up?
show, all of us are on.
We're on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trouble is, we've got to come up with a specialist subject.
Blimey.
And remember,
Okay,
we're
well-
going up against Thomas, whose specialist subject is Eurovision. And Thomas is inhuman when it comes to knowing about... You know how Toby is with knowing all sorts of things about Doctor Who and Quatermass? That's Thomas and Eurovision.
I'll
Right.
open up. Sean, if you're on chat, what should be my specialist subject? I think we know what it should be.
Being unworthy.
No
Yes.
information is useless at the end of the day.
I'm going with comic books.
Oh, that's a very wide topic, and Dave can be
Oh,
quite
yeah.
crafty. So make sure it's
Very
something you know of.
Yeah, that could go any direction from 2000 AD all the way to Invincible.
Oh, nice. Very nice. We've been
Speaking
watching...
of Invincible, have you seen the series?
Sean got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
It's
awesome, isn't it?
amazing.
Right? Two
Oh.
more seasons.
Yes, I am so happy. I watched all of it basically like last night, and I was just like, yeah, this is good. I really enjoyed it.
I watched that one on Netflix last night, Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh, he's only good.
It's
I'm
not
too in.
bad.
It's good. It's good. It's not good as Invincible, but it's good.
It's
Is
not
it-
Invincible. It's live action, so they can't do
Is it kind of close to the boys, or
No.
not really.
Oh,
It's more of a generational superhero CW drama.
oh, I see. Okay, well, that's fair enough.
My eyebrows waggle.
Sort of mine.
That's
I
Elfin
just
for
did
how
the
do you do?
Spock. I just throw up the Spock. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, the Spock. No, that's the Dwayne
No,
Johnson.
no.
That's the Dwayne
It's the
Johnson.
Colbert.
Oh,
It's the Colbert. Ooh.
Independent. Sean, look at Brian's eyebrows. What is that?
Slug
It's
balancing.
quintessential what?
Slug balancing.
Yeah, we'll just wait. We'll see if he's listening. That's the other thing.
The Rock, apparently, Brian?
There you go. Yes, I would
can I
agree.
do the smoldering hotness thing?
No. I mean, keep trying by all means. This is very encouraging to see. But
Don't hurt yourself, though.
yeah,
Keep trying, but don't
you
hurt
know.
yourself. Watch you don't do yourself a mischief.
do you remember Faceache from Buster comic?
Yes, Buster.
Yeah.
Come on, Ben.
He's scrunge. He's fake. He's scrunging.
Don't Google it, Brian. Don't Google
No,
it.
don't.
No,
It's
no.
not rude, but it's not necessarily complimentary, really.
Well, as I get older, I think I get more and more lip pug from the Bash Street Boys, and I'm not Googling that either.
Dear me. Yeah, no, you're not puggy. You're definitely not puggy.
I have my minutes. I have my minutes.
You're
That's
heading
what my
to,
imaginary
you don't
wife
have the
calls me,
moustache, so you
just to
can't
keep me
look
in
like
check.
teacher. Sorry, we're talking very old British comics.
British comics.
Children's comics. The Beano, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. What you got planned next week, guys? Anything interesting? Dominic, we'll start with you again.
Oh, anything interesting?
That you can talk about.
I can talk about. Well, I'm releasing the next episode of my planned series, Doctor Who Remnants, so I thought I might as well plug that because that's the only thing interesting I can think of right now. So,
Plugging. We
yeah.
like plugging.
Plugging. We
Yep.
liked the first one too.
Yep. Oh, yeah, we did,
thank you.
yes.
Thank you very much. But yeah, the next one is out on Saturday the 8th, Manipulator Malfunction, and it's a spiritual sequel to The Christmas Invasion. So hopefully people will like that as well.
Well, we've got a fan in chat.
Yeah, you got a fan in chat.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
She likes your face.
Thank you.
The rest of
I'm
you
the-
she can do without, to be honest.
Ah, well. to
If
be
you could
fair,
just
Yeah,
cut
every
it
morning.
off, send it to her in the post.
It's kind of dangerous because I always think that people on the internet are going to try to cut off my face because they like it and keep it.
No, I
in a
think they'd
box.
cut it off just to save everyone else.
I'm just saying.
So am I. So am I. Right.
Put it in a mayonnaise jar.
So he's doing that. Brian, are you doing anything this week?
I am working.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Oh, you've always wanted to do that.
Or Windows 7 computers.
Oh, yes, you're doing this bizarre thing, aren't you?
Quiet.
Yes, going around with a large hammer to there. Yes, quite.
I harass people until they capitulate to my will.
I think he's taking this job of his a bit too seriously, if I'm honest with you. Eddie, what's happening in Scotland this week?
My metamorphosis should complete on the 11th of the month because I get my second COVID jab at 8:30 in the morning.
Ah, excellent.
Metamorphosis is
5G
complete.
then.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Angela
that's
got
fine.
her second one on Thursday. And then I need to start giving some thought.
Had she
because
emerged
my
from her
other
pod
son-
yet?
No, she's still in the chrysalis.
Okay.
So we're keeping it warm.
Hopefully for a safe transformation. Hopefully it's safe.
Yes, yep. On to the next level of the dimensional plane.
It's like Terragenesis.
And I need to start thinking. My other son, Jack, is about to turn 21 on the 26th. So, Sean, we need to get our head together and think about what we can do to celebrate Jack's 21st.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please do.
Make sure it involves chicken nuggets.
It will involve chicken nuggets and pizza. Yes, absolutely.
No, I think you've got it just there. Hats as well, maybe.
You can't go wrong with a hat.
Yeah, no, hats.
Chicken
No, party
nuggets
hats, I mean.
And pizza.
It's just with Jack. It's like I wish Harry Hill did cameo. I'm going to really think with that because if Harry Hill did cameo, he loves Harry Hill. He doesn't call him Harry Hill, calls him Cookie. Calls a silly cookie. So yeah, Sean, let's start thinking about it. We need to think about
I
what
wonder
we
if
can
there's
do
a way of
to-
contacting them.
I don't know if they do it over there, but sometimes Mickey D's does a special where it's like $5 for 10 McNuggets or something.
They do a 20 nugget share box that my boy has as a meal. Yeah, it's a 20
Oh
share.
yeah. Just for the hell of it, one day we went to McDonald's when they were doing that. I ordered 100.
Jack would demolish those. Would
Oh yeah,
demolish it.
yeah. I did the same thing when Burger King was doing it. 10 nuggets for $1. So I'm like, here's $10. Give me 100.
Oh,
They looked
I'm
at me like
hungry
that
now.
was insane. My dog loved
like
me,
you
but-
were insane. Okay. Like you.
So
My
that's
dog
me.
loved me,
That's my
though.
week. That's my week. What about you, Siobhan? What are you doing next week?
Tuesday, I'm hopefully going to get a new fence and a new wall.
Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see, because I think I said earlier I had women outside going, "Oh, it's disgusting," blah 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 blah.
I get cut off at that point, so I missed
That's
all
when
that.
you go out and say, yes, it is. Perhaps you should talk to the landlord.
I did. They've got a thing called Spotted Crawley, a Facebook group. It's a very good group. The guy who runs it does a good job. And I just put a thing on there saying, look, you know, to the residents of the Guinness estate, it's particularly those two ladies, look, I know it's in a bad state. I've been on the landlords for weeks now to get it sorted out. They haven't shown up when they're supposed to and everything else like that. It's not my fault, you know? So it was very embarrassing hearing that, quite frankly. Because, oh, look at that.
Not your fault, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's my flat, so they obviously think it's me.
Hmm.
You see? And it's a case of, no, it's the bloody landlords. Remember, this is the landlords that left a disabled woman, bedbound, for 3 years with a leaky roof until it collapsed. Then they were supposed to put her into a care home for just a couple of weeks until they'd repaired it. 3 months later, she's still in there, and it badly affected her mental health.
Yeah.
So our landlords, I'm afraid, they used to be superb. They used to be so on the ball, but with cuts and everything else like that. Everything's centralised, and it just...
What of that about?
Yeah, and plus they subcontract stuff out, and the subcontractors they use. So are you getting ready to hit up? You're getting the belt ready to sort of hit up. I mean, I know you're in Glasgow, but you know, just saying.
I'm a fidget, and I've got belts to organise. So I've got belts to organise. I've got hats to organise. Too much, not enough time in that. This.
I can understand organising hats, not so much belts. To be fair.
Well, we were Shaq visited today, and we were looking for a belt that fit him, and we couldn't.
I'm going to have that problem.
So that is put them all back away.
I'm trying to work out how to lose weight.
Sorry.
But you should see the amount of extra notches he's put in it.
He's only got one belt, but he's got a bloody shitload of Transformers.
That's true.
I know, right?
Actually, Eddie, he got one more Transformer last night because one of his Transformers fell off the shelf and a bit came off. So
from the top shelf.
Were you willing that, Siobhan? Was this your telekinesis coming into full effect?
I am telepathetic.
Right back.
$200 Transformer hit the floor. Fortunately, was not broken.
Much.
You've upset Siobhan.
No, it came apart, but it wasn't broken.
Okay. Well, I like
Dominic
the fact
King's
it is designed to come apart. Like they've realised some clumsy idiot is going to be owning it.
Well, this was actually you take parts from one transformer, you put it on another transformer, and they combine into one.
Do they love each other very much?
I'm going to say no.
Okay, Sean's come up with an excellent solution to your problem. You need glass cases.
Yes, I need a Detolf.
You need Dettol.
Dettol.
Detolf. It's a type of glass case. I believe they sell it. Yeah.
We have a new Americanism. A Dettol is a glass case.
No,
I just thought it was
sell it at IKEA, so I think it's Swedish.
Disinfectant.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
disinfectant.
that's what I was thinking.
It's disinfectant.
Whatever.
Disinfectant.
Dettol kills all known germs dead.
That's Domestos, love.
He's not going to know that, is he?
Well, he's American. He's got to decide what he's going to drink to keep off the COVID.
Yeah. So far, I've heard, Detolf,
Love that today.
shine a light bulb up your butt. It's solid.
We are still waiting for you to do that to see if the light reaches your head, your skull.
You have
to
options,
see if you
basically.
get a glowing
Until it comes
skull.
out my eyes.
Yeah. Very Jeff Peterson then. Very Jeff Peterson.
I'll see what I can do. I am going to be changing my avatar in Zoom for when we do the Zoom meetings.
I'm scared now.
It's going to be Jeff.
Oh, I approve of that. A bit of Jeff Peterson. Definitely. Yes. We're going to have to go. Well, let's quickly run through what we're going to do next week. We're looking at Doctor and the Time Warrior. We're looking at the film X the Unknown. It's a short film. Don't worry, boys. All right. Nothing heavy. We are listening Big Finish be praised, hopefully, to the Ninth Doctor box set.
Oh, please make it happen.
And well, after that, well, it's Blake 7 Pressure Point.
This is where the acupuncture story arc starts.
It is where the acupuncture story arc starts. Yeah. To be honest with you, I never saw Travis as a nail technician.
Now, does Avon come out with the dim mock death touch in this one, or is that a later episode?
With the what?
Dim mock death touch? Where you can touch someone and they die?
Is this a Star Trek reference?
Oh, no, it's a...
Darmok and Picard at Talagra.
That's what was it?
Isn't it strange how silly little things like that get into our vocabulary, our general social interaction, and it's a mutual shared understanding. Darmok.
Yeah.
It's like this mutually shared subhand, shorthand.
Yeah.
I mean,
Darmok,
Sinister and I.
Wide.
Yeah, Sinister and I talk almost exclusively in Genesis of the Daleks quotes. How we ever actually managed to arrange something, I don't know, but we do it. It's he's got a lovely new kitten as Dr. Sinister.
Oh yeah, it's cute, isn't it?
It's a real cutie pie, and it looks like Whisper, his older cat's going to be all right with it. So that's going to be fun. I'm pleased about that. It's also Elizabeth, his wife's birthday today. Happy birthday, Liz. She won't see this.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday.
It was Toby's birthday. Yeah. So you want to be told in future about any interviewees I get on. You don't want to be surprised. It's a nice surprise for you today.
Well, this way we can, actually put on clothes. Pants.
Yeah. That's fair. I hadn't I hadn't thought of it like that. Once again, I'm being educated.
Half shave, things like that.
Sorry, I'm now imagining the shaving scene from Monty Python. Right, we've got to go.
I was imagining the shaving scene from Airplane.
Oh, the kicker on that is afterwards when he puts on the aftershave.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a film we need to talk about. But the trouble is, how do you talk about it? Because it's just joke after joke after joke after joke after joke. How do you review it?
Well, you tie it back to our recent Quatermass reviews because I'm sure that took its influence some shape, form, or fashion. Everything seems to.
It's from Quatermass and the Pit. It took its influence from Quatermass and the Pit. The scene in episode 6 where the plane crashes into London. There you go.
Go.
Striker.
It's all linked.
Striker.
I guess I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. Right.
Tell me everything that's happened to this point.
Well, first of all, there was a big bang. Then the dinosaurs came along, but they got too big and fat, so they died and turned into oil. Then the Arabs turned up.
And they bought Mercedes-Benzes.
Johnny, what do you make of this? Well, I can make a butterfly. I can make a... You see, this is all it would be. This is all the review would be. And one of us would attempt to talk jive and fail miserably.
I don't know. Have you ever watched a Gladiator movie?
Yeah. What do you mean the Gladiator movie?
Have you ever been in the Turkish male prison, Tommy? Dominic,
you ever watch two dogs just
hang on. I think we need to explain a few things.
Dominic, this is it.
Have you ever seen the film Airplane?
Airplane.
Oh, yes.
That's what we're talking
Zucker
about.
Brothers.
Okay, sorry. When you said Gladiator movie, my head instantly went to the one with Joaquin Phoenix and Russell
Crowe.
That's it, yeah.
So, right, well, yes, at his signal unleash hell. We better go away.
Mm-hmm.
The barbarian horde.
That's what Eddie was shouting on the Scottish border this week, oddly enough. All right,
it's going to be a two-way war with Scotland and France.
Oh, now you see, only a fool opens up a second front like that and fights on two fronts.
I'm just saying, Boris is in charge.
This is going to be funny. Okay. It'll be a war where nobody gets killed. Or one fisherman will be knocked into the water and drown, and everybody will immediately be horrified. I've been laughing like a drain at this whole situation and the stupidity of it.
There won't be any killing for this, but there will be many a bar fight.
Many a bar fight.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the thing is, Jersey's normally got a good reputation in France. If you go over there and say you're English, well, good luck. Say you're from Jersey. Ah, monsieur, madame, I say of you. Now I'm not so certain. So it doesn't really bother me because I'd love to go back to France. I miss France. I really do. It's just that break from everything English. And I include Jersey in that.
They included your memoirs.
It is the continent. So
they took your memoirs and made that movie from when you were in France.
Which one was that?
Emmanuel in France.
Sorry, what do you mean they made the movie from my memories?
It's okay.
I had a live documentary film crew with me the whole time. I've
Sylvia
missed something
Crystal,
here.
the golden age.
Yeah.
Carry on, Emmanuel.
Okay. Yeah. Suzanne Dando, the golden years, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to go. It's gone 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you two have got to... Well, no, you three have got to work tomorrow.
I've got work in a few hours' time. And
I gotta make dinner.
That boy at the top's got secret stuff that's keeping him busy as well. He needs to get back to.
He's got top secret stuff.
Top
he's
secret
trying to
stuff.
prevent,
Top secret.
$millions
Good
He's got to solve Middle East peace.
Yeah.
Then he
Yeah,
can
let's
move
start all
on to
those
the
boats
Jersey
in
France
Jersey.
thing. Yeah.
channel there.
Do you want us to give you a week or so for you to come up with some sort of plan for the peace in the Middle East, and you can let us know on the show, Dominic?
I can neither confirm nor deny any of this.
He's speaking the lingo already. That's amazing. I'm impressed. I have high hopes now. Two-state solution, I reckon. Yeah,
He's thoroughly trained.
Yeah, it's going to be
Ready
good.
for this.
There we go. Now we solved the world's problems. We're going away. Say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
I hate you all.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
You have been reading The Flashing Blade Live, Series 1, number 71, featuring Dominic Martin, Eddie McEwen, Brian No Name, we don't know why, and me, Siobhan Galachon. No copyright infringement is intended. Now please go away, but not before you hear a word from the GOAT.